Greetings and welcome to a classic game room behind the scenes here in the Intergalactic Space Arcade engine room, which is next to the fusion-powered margarita mixer. The good news is that I have greenlit the Classic Game Room series across multiple platforms all the way through 2024. So that's the Classic Game Room shows on YouTube, that's the Classic Game Room content on Instagram, and that's the Classic Game Room content on TikTok. How did this happen? It is a very, very, very long and convoluted story. I wrote a big history section on the ClassicGameRoom.com website. If you're really interested, go and read that. It takes too long to explain. But the really, really short version of the story is that the show peaked on YouTube in 2012 and effectively collapsed by 2017 after having lost 90% of its ad revenue, which then ran the risk of tanking the production company, which would have then bankrupted the whole business. So as a last-ditch effort, while I was liquidating the production company, I filmed Classic Game Room 2085 using the studio equipment that I picked up to reboot the entire company as a print business. 2085 turned out great. It's coming out on Blu-ray in a few weeks. Thankfully, I shot the whole thing with high-end cameras and 4K with good lenses, backed up the entire project, and it's being mastered right now on Blu-ray. Now, as it turns out, Classic Game Room celebrates its 25th anniversary next year, which I was not even aware of until I started thinking about this stuff a couple months ago. I don't even know how to describe this. It's crazy. You could basically thank Omega Ronin for bringing Classic Game Room back. Let's see. So by 2020, despite the fact that the show had been on for 20 years on and off, and a lot of people liked it, and I enjoyed making it, every video lost money. That's just where that whole business went. It was great. But the behind the scenes, the print business just took off. My design work did perfectly well. And the company turned into CGR turned into a publishing company. So Classic Game Room turned into CGR Publishing, which is now able to support Classic Game Room. So I spun Classic Game Room back off from CGR Publishing. But the reason I did that is because I came up with this nebulous marketing plan at the end of 21 to try to use music to harness the power of social media for marketing. And I did that because I'm a lousy influencer. So I suck at social media, and I don't like it. So I thought it'd be more fun to just find a way to use music and music videos and commercials to market the CGR publishing products, and that turned into Turbo Volcano. And then I spun off Omega Ronin from Turbo Volcano, which just blew Turbo Volcano away. So Omega Ronin's been doing really well since the beginning of 22. So I can celebrate with my, what is this stuff? Watermelon sparkling water in my Omega Ronin glass. Alright, here's where things get weird, and this is really hard to explain, so I'm going to try to keep it short. Omega Ronin came out as a surprise. It's grown since the beginning. It's always had good, slow, steady growth, which is totally different than what Classic Game Room had, which was its explosion of popularity that then came down just as quickly. And then I was left with all these resources up in the air, which sucks. So I prefer slow, steady growth, and I started to work with this Omega Ronin project and slip the music into these little, into TikToks and Instagram Reels or whatever they're called. And eventually YouTube Shorts. And I don't really like producing those kinds of videos if I have to put thought into them, but if I can just use a song and then hold up a game or something, it's the vibe rather than the video. If that makes any sense to anyone, it probably doesn't. If you look at those videos filmmaking, you're looking at them wrong. They're not filmmaking, it's just something different. just playing the music and showing something worked. And that just kind of unlocked creatively this thought that perhaps Classic Game Room could exist again if it had this backbone of music. If for no other reason than I like to edit over music. And then it's like, well, wait a second, what was the biggest problem with Classic Game Room from day one was the game music, which is why the whole thing collapsed in the first place, because all the big videos just got wiped out and it just took out the whole thing. So now there's not really game music anymore, it's my music, which is great. So that's no longer an issue. And then it sort of occurred to me, and believe it, I didn't even think about this, but it occurred to me that this was the 24th year of the show. That means next year's 25. So I just started to dig out 2018 or a 2085, which I made in 2018. Looks great. I decided to greenlight 2085 season 2 and start, because now there's music, and the music production company is kind of like a video production company with less lighting. Best way to describe that. So I don't really have a set right now, and lighting is really hard. It took 2 months to get the lighting done for 2085 season 1. That's why it looks so good. I don't have any lighting right now, as you can see. So the whole thing just came together. That 2085 is coming out next year, season 2, 25th anniversary of the show. Omega Ronin will hopefully be rolling on the vinyl. It's coming out in CD later. A couple of the albums, like our Metropolis, are coming out in CD later this year. What I've got is this. It's just one sound. That's kind of the song I've got in my head right now. I'm going to stack on 2 other synthesizer layers. So now it starts to sound like this. So there's the story, or at least a short version of it. Omega Ronin and Classic Game Room work great together. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting to produce Classic Game Room anymore. But the music provided not only a foundation for the editing, but also a lot of inspiration for the videos and the reviews, and just like the relaxed nature of the 4K videos. And in return, the games are providing a lot of inspiration for the music. And the main Classic Game Room theme right now on the new videos, the year 24 videos, is an Omega Ronin song called Skull Bomb. And there's a video out there on this, but I produced that song after playing a lot of Truxton 2. And I wanted to make a song inspired by Truxton 2, by the gameplay and the spaceships, and that was Skull Bomb. And it's one of my favorite Omega Ronin songs, and that's just the perfect new theme song for Classic Game Room. So there you have it, a symbiotic relationship between synthwave and Atari games and classic games. So there'll be a lot more to come. So maybe we'll make this behind the scenes thing here a regular Wednesday get together or something. But that's all for now. Got to get back to work, and I'll see you soon. So thanks for watching.